Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
That's really low.
I did. Mic test one more time, please.
Coach, can you one more time? Make sure we're good.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, that's better. Yep. All right, we'll go ahead and get started here with Coach Traylor. Choose the raise hand function to ask questions, and I will call on you. Greg?
Jeff, how you doing today?
Good, we're good.
I want to ask you about Antonio Parks. How has he sort of risen to become such a huge difference maker through the years? It seems like week after week he does more and more.
You know, he's just a very consistent player that he's mature. He understands the importance of practice. He never takes a rep off. He takes coaching very well. He's locked in at all times. He's the epitome of a perfect locker room guy, culture guy. When you're trying to build a program, you can't have enough Antonio Parks on your roster because he just buys into what we're coaching on. And he's just an example for all of our players every day.
How much is his versatility an asset for you guys, both really in terms of what he can do defensively, like playing against the run or the pass, and where he can play?
Well, he's a very bright kid, so he has the ability to learn a lot. He's very tough, mentally and physically. And he's got athletic ability. So those are some nice combinations. And he just keeps showing up. And he keeps getting better every day. And he's a joy to coach. I'd say he's a pleasant surprise. We just didn't know he was that good of a football player, and he keeps showing us he really is every day.
It seems you have a lot of guys in the secondary there who are really comfortable coming down and making hits, like they're in touch with the physical aspect of the game. Are you happy with that, and was that a process to develop with that group?
Well, it's one of the things we really hang our hat on defense is being physical. I hired a very physical defensive coordinator, and I have a very physical safety coach in Coach Lep. Coach Nix and Coach Lep are the epitome of the triangle of toughness, and their players play the way they're coached. They coach them hard, they love them hard, but they're an example of their coaches, and the buy-in our kids have on the triangle of toughness. It's not a coincidence that the very first thing we speak about every day is how physical, how tough we're going to be on defense. It's a mindset, it's something we're very proud of, and it shows up every Saturday.
Shihan, we'll go to you.
Hey, Coach, I'm writing a story on Sincere McCormick. And so, when you got here, was there kind of a point that you realized that Sincere was not only going to have a chance to play right away, but maybe have a chance to be a really special player right away?
We played a great high school program. Converse Judson has been putting out good players for many years. They have an amazing culture over there as well. So their players that come out of there, they're in alignment immediately with what we're about over here. So it's a natural fit. Second, he's very talented, which that always helps as well. And he's a good kid. Third, he is a really good young man. He's very coachable. He wants to be coached every day. He stars for it. He wants to get better. He has a great attitude. He has a beautiful smile on his face every day. He's very intelligent. Again, very similar. We were talking about Antonio Parks earlier. If you have a locker room full of Sincere McCormicks, your culture gets to where you want it as a coach pretty quick.
From a game planning perspective, you guys have always had to cycle through so many different guys under center. How much does it help when you guys are planning out these games that you do have that consistency there in Sincere?
we don't take it for granted. We're very blessed. I mean, we're going into game 8 right now. He's been, you know, the leader of our offense the entire year. And we're very blessed that he's been there. He doesn't miss a practice. You'd think at 37 carries on Saturday, he'd come in on Sunday walking around, you know, he has juice, his shoulders are back, his scalps are pinched back together, a smile on his face, great spirit, great energy, and it's contagious. And it feeds to our team. He's an amazing leader.
How do you prepare a kid to be able to carry the ball as often as he does? And I mean, especially for a kid who's only a true sophomore right now, a kid who's 19.
I teased them the other day about Bone Phillips and Earl Campbell. I think Earl carried it 40 times one time. They asked Bone about it. And Bone's response was, that ball's not that heavy, is it? And I gave him that analogy. He thought that was funny. Kind of a coincidence. I believe he won the Earl Campbell Award this week. So the analogy I used on Sunday, and he gets that award on Tuesday. Of course, I'm from East Texas. So that's a pretty big deal. Earl Campbell and Tyler Rose. So that's pretty cool.
You know, heading forward, I mean, is there a guy that you've coached before that he kind of reminds you of, or what do you think he kind of has the potential to be? I mean, with 4 years in your guys' program.
You know, I've coached some great ones in my career, but you'd have to go back to the 90s to the kid he reminds me of. He reminds me of a player named Richard Whitaker who played at Texas A&M, and I actually coached him in high school at Jacksonville. Richard was like him. You know, he showed up all the time and was just a great, great human being, very humble and played hard. Body types were very similar. Their style of running was very similar. That's who he reminds me of. So you had to go back in the archives to think it was 96 or 97 when I coached him. Then he went to A&M, had a great career. And that's the same thing. That's who Sincere is. Just a beautiful smile, great back, runs behind his pads very well, shifty. And it's a joy to coach number 3 every day.
Well, that sort of thing. You know, obviously him being a kid from San Antonio, I mean, obviously anytime you can get a star player is huge, but when you get a guy like that who's also repping his hometown, I mean, how big is that for this program?
It's huge. You see Marcus Davenport, he still loves us and gives us great support on Twitter. He made a great play yesterday for the Saints to win the ball game. But Rashad, Frank, you know, there's a lot of them. Sincere, Hunter Duplessis, our kicker, you know, Spencer Burford. We just got a lot of local kids, you know, Brandon Matterson from Brandeis. They take great pride in that. They could have chosen to go somewhere else. And I say it all the time, to build a program, to have the opportunity to build your own program in your own home city is a very, very special thing. Coach Brown, our DFO, speaks about the original 18 all the time. He was on the first coaching staff here when they started. And that original 18 is very important to this place. And the local kids that stay here and help build this thing will always be remembered for getting this program going.
Hey, Greg.
Jeff, you guys put out a new depth chart yesterday, and it was interesting to see at left guard you had Terrell Haynes ahead of Demetrius Allen or Dominic Vestucci. I'm wondering, did Terrell do enough to show he earned a crack at that job going forward, or is it just a week-to-week evaluation for injuries, health, and things like that?
That depth chart is, you know how that is, Greg. I mean, by the time we get to Saturday, it's just who knows. But Terrell has earned that spot. That's not a coincidence that he was listed first. It's just we don't either. We work our 2s and 3s like they're 1s because they could be one test. And with contact tracing and injuries, I mean, you know, it's there's a lot of chances that a kid is not going to play on Saturday. So we list them in there and we work all those kids. But Terrell, yes, to answer your question, Terrell has earned the right to start the game Saturday.
When you talk about those injury situations, we saw, and you mentioned this yesterday, we saw Rashad working, it looked like both shoulders at times during the game. How did he look in practice yesterday? What's his status going forward?
No, he's fine. He's ready to roll. He's a tough kid. He'll be good to go Saturday.
Hector?
Morning, Coach.
Hi, Hector.
Coach, wondering, Sincere, the fact that he leads the country in rushing, has that come up in conversation between you and him?
No, never. Now, our team takes great pride in it. They all know it. We really brag to them about being a part of that, but we don't mention it with him ever. We just talk to the team about it, but I've never spoken to him individually about it. I have a feeling he kind of knows.
And Coach, one of the things that strikes me, and I know you've answered so many questions about Sincere, not only the last couple of days and throughout the season, and rightfully so, but one of the things that strikes me is when you talk about Sincere, in addition to talking about what he does on the field, you're very quick to bring up the kind of young man he is, what he does before practice, before games, and so on and so on. There's not much, I guess, Coach, you can elaborate on, but it's just striking to hear what a special young man he is, and for being just a sophomore, and to have a guy like that as part of your program.
Yeah, it speaks volumes of just about the depth of the human that he is. He's deep for his age. He understands the bigger scale of life, and he's very grateful. He's just a joy every single day, and it's just a blessing to coach him. I wish I could give you a little dirt on him. There's just no dirt on him. He's just a good boy. He's a good young man with a beautiful smile that shows up every day, grateful to be here. And you can't have enough of those guys in your locker room, Hector.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll get Sincere in there next.
Thank you, man. God bless. Birds up.
All right, could you give me a quick mic test real quick?
1, 2, 3, 4. Y'all gonna have to excuse me today because it's cold outside. I'm trying to defrost right now.
All right, I think we're good.
All right, we'll open it up for questions for Sincere McCormick. Shehan, would you start us off?
Hey, Sincere, just kind of start things off. I mean, obviously you had a lot of options when you were coming out of high school. What really made UTSA the right place, and what does it kind of mean to you to be repping San Antonio at your school?
It means a lot to me. I feel like, being home, no matter, they always talk about go to these big name schools, but it doesn't really matter what school you go to. It's just if you can make a name for yourself, and knowing that you can make a name for yourself. And coming into UTSA with Rashad, and we had that bond already. Just knowing that I have him on my side, and we know that there's the purpose and the goal. Ultimate goal is to get UTSA on the map, and that's our objective. Especially with having Frank Harris, Spencer, and all the other guys from the 210, and being here and establishing grounds that we could just make it, especially with UTSA being like pretty much the only football, because San Antonio doesn't have a NFL football team. So like I said, the fans is the most important, being here at the university. So that's what means dearly to me.
There were a bunch of good running backs on the roster when you got here, but was there a point where you kind of realized, like, I'm going to have a chance to get a lot of carries right away?
When my mindset coming in was just a learning mindset. With Brendan Brady, being ahead of me, like BJ Daniels, they all came. They knew that I was a young running back. They was teaching me, leading me, letting me know the job that I had to do on the field, on and off the field, and building that relationship with the guys kind of helped me move forward. And when I got the opportunity, I just took it and ran with it.
How do you prepare, knowing that there's kind of been a lot of quarterback turnover? I mean, how do you kind of prepare to deal with sometimes offenses that look different every single week?
With all the quarterbacks, so we all have a connection with each and every one of the quarterbacks. It's a next man mentality, having them up there and allowing them to just give them the confidence just to know that they can do the job the same as the last quarterback. And we really don't, focus on like the last quarterback. If the last quarterback go down, then the next man up, and we just like keep carrying on the same confidence and building them up.
Why do you think that you've been able to have so much success already, even though you're just a true sophomore?
Mostly my success has come from the front line, allowing my linemen to open up big holes and being able to stay patient and stay in between my tackles and learning the scheme, learning the fronts and understanding where it's going to hit and just reading reaction and having that deep connection, especially with all 10 other guys, 11 other guys blocking for me. And that's major. That's a point where I made my key, my major success in.
Hey, Greg.
Sincere, what did it mean to you to earn the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Player of the Week that got announced today?
It means a lot. I actually just found out about it like literally 2 minutes ago. I didn't even know. But you know me, I'm a humble kid, and you can even ask my mom and all my family members when it comes to award. I'm just a humble and hard work pays off, and that clearly shows. I'm grateful, and I'm continue to keep working.
How are you feeling right now after the physical demands of the game Saturday with all the carries that you had?
I feel good. I learned how to recover. After taking 37 carries, taking the ice bath, just recovering, just having that pro mentality of just taking care of your body. Really, so I feel fresh for Tuesday. Today, being able to come out there and perform at my highest level.
You mentioned the ice bath. Can you take us a little bit more inside that recovery process? What else do you have to do to get refreshed and ready to keep rolling through the year?
So my first step, I go to the ice bath with Coach Philo, Ryan Philo, my guy. We take we contrast ice and cold, stay in the hot for 3 minutes, go in the ice for 1 minute, and I go into the training room, get recovery pump, do a little workout, a little stretching just to get my body refreshed and ready for the next game.
Do you feel like you could carry this kind of a workload the rest of the way, or is that something that you guys have to be careful about how many carries you get and what it looks like week to week?
Really, I just play football. Really, I just the workload doesn't really matter. It's a mentality thing at the end of the day. Whatever the coaches give me, I'm gonna do my best and continue to strive and continue to be great with it. The workload doesn't really matter. So it's just a mentality thing.
Do you ever approach practice any differently to try to make sure you're staying fresh and not putting too much of a toll on yourself there?
With my coaches, they do a great job of understanding that I took a beating Saturday, and that I still need to recover. But no, there's no different mentality that I take. It's just all gas, no brakes. Really, that's what Rashad Wisdom always say. All gas, no brakes. So continue to fight, continue to push forward, continue to do great things, during practice.
Yeah, because Coach was telling us that you've really outworked a lot of the other guys in practice. He said 1 week you put up the best metrics on that little, I guess it's called the Titan.
Yeah, I have, and that came with like the first 2 weeks, how I felt, kind of felt heavy. And I knew that I had to work more than I normally do, put in that extra work, especially with the quarantine and just, not able to have the same routine like everybody else around here. But I knew that I had to put that extra work in just to be successful in the end.
Hector?
Morning, Sincere.
Good morning.
Wondering how often do you communicate? And maybe that's a bad way to put it. Maybe it's how often maybe are you not talking to, but your communication with Jarvion Williams. How often do you guys talk?
I talk to him all the time. I always tell him like I'm gonna beat your record. You know, we always had that great relationship, especially with me and Jalon being my quarterback in high school, and knowing his brothers was here, and I just kind of get tips and reminders from him because since he's already been in the situation. So me and him, our connection is deeper than other connections. So between me and him, we always have a good time. We always talk about. He always still, even though he's on the defensive side, he's still always giving key points.
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of things he advises when you guys do kind of chat?
To continue working hard. He emphasizes that because when he's already been at the next level, he emphasizes work ethic, so extreme work ethic. And like I said, when I was talking to other guys, just working hard, doing extra stuff after practice, and just having that mentality just to be physically, mentally stronger than than everybody else.
Have you found yourself in a situation this year where you kind of, you had a question about something, you know what, who better to ask than that guy, and you kind of went over to him and kind of sought some advice on a particular thing?
No, not this year. I haven't. I just went with my running back coach. He's been giving me the key tips, really, because he still got a job to do on the defensive end. So we have a little moments, little chat. He just tell me keep toting the ball when he can. But other than that, I mostly get my information from my running back coach, Julian Griffin.
You mentioned the kidding around and the back and forth that go around with the school rushing record. Is that important to you?
It's one of my goals. I always set goals each year, and last year I was trying to beat his rushing record, and I came up short. And this year I have the mentality that I know I can finish strong and absolutely beat his record.
Has he said anything to you about leading the country in rushing right now?
He just said remain humble. Continue to remain humble. That's the way I've been since I was little. Just staying humble.
And last question along those lines, Sincere, just it's kind of interesting, right? The parallels with you and him, what you did at Judson, what you did at UTSA, the fact that he's a part of the program now, and when you put it all together, do you ever kind of think about how funny the symmetry is that here you guys are, here you are doing what you're doing, and here he is in the fold as well.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like his background is the same pretty much as like my background. Like you said, being at Justin and then kind of just following the footsteps of him, just being able to make a difference, with the status that I am currently at, and just be able to still get the advice from him because he already been through the ropes. So with him being by my side and still, giving me the information that I need to be successful, and especially him already being at the next level is very, it's cool, kind of cool having that guy right there next to me.
Appreciate it, Sincere. Thank you. Best of luck on Saturday.
Greg, you can wrap us up with Sincere.
Sincere, do you feel like the offensive line is coming together in front of you through the weeks? How have you seen that group improve as time goes on?
First week, they did extremely well. Kind of fell off second week. Third week, they started getting it together. And then from there on, they kept having that mentality that they need to push forward. I know that our coach had challenged them earlier in the year to, do better. He emphasizes that a lot. And then even during the huddles, during the time I have to talk to them to let them know, just encouraging the guys. And with encouragement, energy is contagious. Like everywhere you go, energy is contagious. So with having the front line and having them to have that dog mentality that they have the ability to move people out the way, to miss assignments, making assignments and fitting the right guy is very well. So throughout the whole year, they improved tremendously.
Thank you, Sincere. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, thanks, Sincere. We'll get Frank in there next.
I'm cold. I'm cold. I know you cold, bro. I know you cold. You cold. You cold, bro.
Hey, could you give me a quick 10 count, please?
1, 2, 3.
All right, we're good.
Okay, we'll take questions for Frank Harris. Greg, go ahead.
Frank, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm wondering, when you get a chance to watch the film back, what did you see or learn about your play on Saturday?
Like I said, after the game, I just got to get better. My reads and my passes, I just got to keep improving each and every day. Keep watching film and just keep growing. Um, and like I said, I just like to thank everybody for just keeping faith in me, and my coaching staff and my teammates. But I gotta play a lot better.
Yeah, you mentioned after the game how critical you were of yourself, and again now, but did you find some bright spots on there, some things you did late in the game that you felt good about?
Um, Handing the ball out to Sincere. That's a bright spot for me. Throwing the ball to Tyke, but nothing really special that I did. So I just got to just come out there this week and respond the right way and play football like I know I can.
Do you think just another full week of practice, getting all the first team reps, will help you along that goal, or how do you expect to improve through this week?
I just got to go out there and get my confidence back up. Trust the play call, trust my reads, and like Coach Trell always says, just cut it loose. Just go out there and have fun, and just do what I do.
Hector, you're up.
Morning, Frank.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I know you're kidding around right now about handing it off to Sincere. Does it take a moment to register that you're playing in the same backfield with the country's leading rusher?
No, I was not playing. I was being serious. Hey, I'm like #1 fan of his. After he scored, I told him, "You're the best back in the country." He's very good. It makes my job a lot easier than what it is. And he can score anytime he gets the ball. So it's a blessing having him on our team. And our linemen, they do a great job of giving him holes and gaps to get through. And he takes care of the rest.
Appreciate it, Frank. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Shihan.
Hey, Frank. When you were in high school, I mean, how much did you know about Sincere? And when he decided to come to UTSA, I mean, how big was that just in terms of what you knew about him?
I think he was new to the district, actually. So I knew everybody from Judson because I grew up in the area and I was supposed to go there. But we had played against Judson, and I think he was a true freshman, and he was killing us. And I'm like, Coach, who is this kid? And it's like, that's the running back. So I knew about him then. And then the old coach staff was trying to recruit him and Rashad. And I said, oh, man, I need that running back on my team. That dude's a beast. So I reached out to him and Shad, tried to get both of them. And we ended up getting both of those guys. So it was a blessing to get those guys, and we're just glad that they're here. They're doing a great job representing San Antonio in our program.
I know that obviously with your guys' team, I mean, there's just been sort of this relentless energy, you know, where even when you guys go down, even when you're up there, there's just all this energy. How much does Sincere kind of help funnel that?
I like to say everybody brings energy. Coach Traylor, the Pillar Killers, everybody on the whole team, you know, we got to bring our own energy. Sometimes we're not going to have fans, just like at BYU. We got to bring our own energy. Sometimes our fans, not too many of them come out there to support in away games. So, you know, you got to bring your own energy and, you know, be there for your teammates and go out there and support one another. And, you know, we all we got. So, man, let the rest take care of itself.
When Sincere breaks off a big run like that 45-yard touchdown run that he had, I mean, how much does that kind of help energize the offense? And how big is that just when you guys are putting in a game plan to know that, you know, any given play, Sincere McCormick can kind of change a game?
I'm going to give credit to Coach Traylor. He did call it out at halftime. He said that Sincere was going to score the last touchdown, which he did. So I will give him credit for that one. But like you said, anytime Sincere touches the ball, I mean, he might get hit a few times and he might break one. And it's like, man, that was crazy. So I kind of can't be a fanboy too much because I am on the field with him. So I try to keep my composure and can't get too excited. But he's a great back. And like I said, the running back, he's one of the best running backs in the country. And the receivers and the linemen do a great job of giving him time. And he's going to take care of the rest every time.
You know, obviously there's been a lot of injuries at the quarterback position and just a lot of shuffling because of it. But how much does it help to have a guy in Sincere who you know, every single week has been able to perform at the level that he's played at?
he's gonna get the best each and every week. You know, he's just relentless. He gets hit, and I'm like, oh, that kind of hurt. He just gets right back up. He pass blocks. He doesn't say much, and he wants the ball all the time, like all the time. Like if it's RPO and I throw it, he goes, man, give me the ball. I want the ball. I'm like, I'm bad, bro. Like I'm bad. So he always wants the ball. He's a team guy. Everybody knows he's a team guy. He's not selfish. He's not cocky. He's all about the team. And like I said, we just blessed to have him. And I know he's gonna do great this week, and he's gonna have a great season.
Thank you, Frank.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Greg.
Frank, what did Tyke's return at receiver this week do for your offense?
That's my dude. I've always had faith in him, even when he didn't have faith in himself. So just having him back out there, and this week was huge for him. I'm glad he had the game that he did have. He's gonna just keep building and keep growing. He's a huge impact for us, and I'm glad that he got to show what he was capable of. And you know, I just hope he keeps doing it.
Does having a target with his height and his length change things for you, or does that give you guys new options as an offense?
Yeah, he does. He can run every route. You've seen him run a short route and extend it. You've seen him run a deep route and extend it. He's just very versatile. And he's a great receiver for me. Like I said, he doesn't say much either. I trust him. He trusts me. And I just hope that we can just keep building on the connection that we do have, and he keeps growing. And, you know, we just see where it takes us.
You mentioned having faith in him when maybe he didn't have faith in himself, and Coach Traylor said they've been working pretty hard to get stuff right off the field, making sure he's bought into the culture and that sort of stuff. As one of the team leaders, do you help in that process, or is there a way you can kind of bring him along or make sure he's doing the right things?
Oh, you could ask him himself. I'm on Tyke very hard. You know, he's like a little brother to me. On his official, I was his host, so we kind of have a bond. And I always try to keep him down the right path because I know his potential that he does have in football. He's soft hands, can go up and high point the ball. He's fast. He's physical. He's just a great receiver, and we need to use him. So we need him on our team. So I got to just stay on him, keep him down the right track, and I think he'll be fine, and he'll be very good for us.
How do you evaluate your receivers group overall at this point? It seems like with him and Sakari and Dingle and Cephas, you guys have a lot of guys who can make big plays for you.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. You know, I don't look out there and say I'm gonna throw to this guy. It's kind of just a progression. I look at the safeties and I throw away from the safety. I don't just go with this guy's good because all my receivers are good, like you mentioned, and all those guys can make big plays. And we just gonna keep getting better. I know I missed a few throws to those guys. They keep faith in me. And, you know, I just going to keep building that trust with them. And let's see if I can just keep making plays with those guys.
And you guys got Spencer back on the offensive line this week as well. Did you see that had an impact in the game? How did that group play?
You know, Spencer is he's very, very, very good. As another guy I try to recruit very hard. Me and him grew up together. So he had a lot of big-time offers, and just getting him here was very important. And, you know, he's physical, and he's one of the best linemen that we got, probably one of the best in the country. Spencer is very good and aggressive. Just keep him on the right track, and, you know, the rest of the line, and just keep growing. They're getting better each and every week, and just keep developing.
Did you tweak your knee at all in that game? It seemed like there might have been times where you were limping a little bit out there.
I limp all the time. I got a bad walk, banged up here and there, but it's nothing serious.
Got it. Thank you, Frank.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Only fan.
All right, thanks, Frank. We'll get Corey in
Appreciate
there.
y'all. Cool.
Could you give me a quick 10 count, please?
Did you do a quick 10 count?
10 count?
Yes, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Does that sound good?
Yep. We'll get started with Corey Mayfield Jr. Greg, you're up.
Corey, how are you doing today?
Good, good.
How did you feel about the way you played against Louisiana Tech? What was your evaluation of your play overall?
Um, Not very good. I think I won just one time on third down. I dropped a pick six. That deep ball was on me. That post that really got underthrown should have been a touchdown. Uh, Thank you, Chuck and C9. Uh, Not very good. Left some plays out there, missed opportunities. I mean, I got to be better.
I was going to say, you mentioned that play that was nearly a pick six. That was an important stop for you guys either way. Did you feel all right about that one?
Nah, man. I mean, I got to come out with that one. I gotta score that one. I mean, I was happy overall, but I mean, just it could have been better.
I think there was also a play near the end there where you came off the edge on a blitz and got to the quarterback and created some pressure. Can you walk us through that one? Do you remember that play?
Coach just called a good call. We had a corner blitz on him, and Kyle Hud, he rolled out the pocket. I'm just chasing him down, doing what I'm coached to do, and luckily got there before he was able to get it off.
You guys seem to use those types of plays pretty regularly. There's a lot of corner blitzes week to week. What does that do for your defense, or what kind of challenges does that create for an offense?
I mean, they just got a game plan for it. I mean, they not just game planning us, our base down coverages or what. I mean, they gotta get it that they gotta get that corner blitz in there and learn how to protect it.
Was that something you had to learn how to do effectively, or is that pretty easily, and does that come naturally to you?
That's some Coach Tyrone Nix and Nick Graham taught me.
Is there something that's like special about that, or like what do you have to focus on when you're making a corner blitz to make it effective?
So we just going. We contained. If something come to us, we tackle it. But we just blitz. That's all he tells us, blitz.
How do you feel about the cornerbacks group overall this season? It seems like you guys have a few players who can be pretty effective in the role.
Yeah, I think we're getting better and better every week. Coach Graham is real hard on us. I think the team goes off of how we play. So if we play good, I mean, usually some good stuff happens. If we playing bad, I mean, it's not going to look good. So I think the team goes as the corner goes. The defense goes as the corner goes. And we've been doing all right.
And your defense overall was really effective, especially in the second half against Louisiana Tech. Is there anything that you saw looking back at it that was really key to you guys shutting them down as well as you did?
I think Coach Nix was just really putting us in the right spot. I don't think we wasn't doing anything special. You know, I think Coach Nix just had everybody in the right spots, and we was doing what we was coached to do. So it was pretty easy.
What does a game like that do for your confidence as a defense going forward? How do you guys feel heading through this next week?
I think that's when we really need it. Our confidence stays up, but I mean, it's just good to win. You know, after losing 3 straight, it's good to get a win and get this train back rolling.
You feel like you guys are really like finding an identity defensively and figuring out what kind of stuff works for you? It feels like weekly, it's like there's been improvement on that side.
Oh yeah, we improving. I mean, we get pushed in practice. I mean, they coach us very hard. We hard on each other. So I mean, we practice hard. I mean, the game kind of come easier.
One of the guys out there who's been kind of a standout recently is Antonio Parks. Made some big plays this weekend as well. What can you tell me about what jumps out about him as a teammate?
Dude, real intense. He locked in. I mean, probably one of my favorite dudes to ever play with on the field. I mean, he's just very intense, and he always locked in, and he's not really playing too much. I mean, he's a dude.
Does that intensity have an effect on the rest of you guys? Does that bring something out of the rest of the group?
Yeah, it rub off on all of us. Off on all of us. I mean, AP not real vocal. He not a real big vocal guy. He more of a, I'm gonna show you how it gets done. But yeah, it rubs off.
Has he gotten better through the year? It feels like each week he kind of has an uptick in terms of what he's bringing to the table.
Oh yeah, Coach Lev doing a great job with him, and yeah, he getting better every week. I'm real tough on him. Rashad Wisdom, he real tough on him too. So yeah, he's getting better every week though.
Are there any areas as a defense overall that you guys are focused on improving or things you want to work on going forward?
We got to get the ball, man. I mean, we need more turnovers. We got to tackle better. Tackles and turnovers, something we emphasize.
How about getting ready for FAU? Is there anything that jumps out about them in particular?
I think they got a real athletic quarterback. I think their O-line is good. They got some skill on the outsides that they can win with. I think they're overall a good offense. It'll be another good test for us. Just got to practice hard every day and do what we coach to do through the week, and everything should take care of itself Saturday.
Anything else for Corey? All right, thanks, Corey. We'll get Antonio Parks in there next.
Corey.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. All right. We'll take questions for Antonio Parks. Greg, go ahead and get started.
Antonio, how you doing today?
How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing well. How did you feel about the play of the defense overall against Louisiana Tech? What jumped out?
Pretty much coming out in the first half was a little bit flat. Guys was running to the ball, pursuing the ball pretty hard, but it was just kind of flat and I don't know, kind of just down. Second half, coach got us going. He had a feel for what they was doing. The defense kind of had a feel for what they was doing, and then we was able to execute everything he played, and we was able to play faster, and it showed.
Yeah, you guys held them to, I think it was 35 yards as a defense in the second half. What was the key overall just to being so effective against a group that's usually pretty strong on offense?
I think it was Coach Nix. I think Coach Nix had a great feel and putting guys in the right spots, making great play calls, and just the players executing what he was calling. And everybody had that juice coming out in half. And I think we really believed that we belonged, and we knew we belonged, and we knew what we could do. And I think guys just truly believed and bought into what we was doing, and everybody just was executing on every cylinder.
Can a performance like that do something for the defense going forward, building confidence into future games?
I mean, we always have confidence. Our confidence is always there, but definitely with that type of performance, it definitely add a boost, and it definitely shows all of the guys we actually could do something pretty special if we continue to execute what the coaches is calling.
How'd you feel about your play individually in that game?
It's so much things I left out there. I could have been a lot better on the perimeter, getting guys down on the ground when they try to block me, or even just getting off the blocks faster. I usually do a pretty good job of getting a feel for guessing and getting off blocks, but I feel like I got to do that better going forward. But other than that, pretty good performance.
You had a hand in a couple of turnovers. Can you start with the forced fumble? What happened on that play?
I got to give credit to Rashad Wisdom just as much I get the credit for it. He got the guy stood up in time for me to get there and punch at the ball. So I got to give Rashad Wisdom a lot of credit for that as well, to give me time to get over there and get the ball out.
And how about that interception at the end? That seemed like a kind of right place, right time sort of thing. But what did you see?
Absolutely. It just was that D-line hunting. It was my Sam backer, C9, just going after there, going to get the quarterback, making him throw a wobbly throw. And then I was just in the right spot at the right time and was able to get under it and secure the ball to secure a win.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that's the play that really kind of finalized the game and sealed it for you guys. What was the emotions like when you hauled in that interception?
Oh, I just knew it was over. I just knew we had just got a win. I knew the ball was in my hands, and I just wanted to make sure I really secured it and get down so our offense could get it, take a knee, which is the best play in a football game. Take that knee, and then we was able to get out there with a win. You always got to be happy with that.
Corey was just telling us that you guys really put an emphasis in practice on forcing turnovers and making things happen that way. How much is that something you talk about?
We do it every day of practice. So for me to go out there and do it in the game with their practice, it just showed a lot of what we do in practice. Coach emphasized a lot of going to get the ball out, and he made a huge emphasis last week on strip attempts, get the ball out. And I just was happy I was able to do that for Coach Nix because he really emphasized that last week.
How about for you individually? How are you feeling about the way that you've been playing week to week here?
I'm just getting better. I just keep on listening to what the coaches is telling me. I keep watching the film, just keep on going in there and tweaking my game every week. And that's what I look to continue to do, just continue to get better. I'm nowhere near where I need to be, but I'm getting better every week. And I look forward to do that in the future, continue to get better.
What are some of those things that you've been able to tweak or improve week to week?
Just really getting a feel for the game, really, with the amount of reps I've been taking. Just really just getting a feel for it, as far as fatigue, getting able to get out there, not get tired, really have a feel for it, getting able to line up, get my guys lined up, get a play call, really just moving fast and it's just snapping way, way faster. So that was something that I'll say I have gotten a whole lot better at, getting lined up and having a sense of urgency and doing what I'm asked to do.
Are there some different focus areas for you going forward, or are those the places you want to continue trying to improve?
My focus area right now is just really, like I said, last game I didn't like myself on the perimeter. I was delivering a shot and I was knocking guys back, but it's time to put guys on the ground and be even more physical and bring an edge when someone's trying to block me. So to let other opponents know you can't come out here. So I just want to do that going forward, and that's something that I want to tweak and definitely work on going forward.
Corey was just telling us that your just intensity in your approach really stands out on the field. Is that something that you see in yourself?
Yeah, it's just me. It's just always been in me to just get going, get locked in, know what I got to do, and then execute whatever I'm asked to do. That's always been the type of guy I've been. So to get a compliment from my teammate like that, I like it.
Does that have an impact on the guys around you? Do they kind of have to rise to that level when you play with that mentality?
Oh yeah, definitely. Once you see a guy rolling, and once you see a guy really getting into it, and he's hyped and he got a lot of energy, you better bring the energy with him because everyone is counting on you. And definitely on that defense, we handshake. So when we go out there, everybody look each other in the eye, and we know we got our brothers counting on us, and you can't let your brother down. So that's the brotherhood that we have. So you got to bring it.
How do you evaluate the cornerback group so far this year? It seems like you guys have found a few options that have been pretty effective.
Those guys, man, they do a great job. They got a lot of speed. They got a lot of length. Those guys are smart in that room. And those guys do a great job of what Coach Graham asked them to do. Every one of them is working every day. They do a great job of feeding off of each other. And that's what you want. I mean, I'm pretty sure Coach Graham is happy to have a lot of depth right there and to continue rolling different guys in and keeping guys fresh and definitely keep finding new guys. And that definitely happened in that room. Those guys are getting better and better each week.
Are you guys getting more comfortable with your communication between corners and safeties as time goes on?
Absolutely. Everybody have a feel for what the coaches is asking us to do. And definitely with the play calling, everybody is getting real comfortable. So now it's just getting a call, seeing what the opposing team is lining up very, very quick. So everybody is definitely getting comfortable with the play calling and what we're asked to do.
One of the interesting things about your defense is the amount of like blitzing pressure that you bring from secondary players, whether it's cornerbacks or even some safety.
Yeah.
How much of an advantage is that for you guys, or why do you guys do that? What can that problems create for an offense?
I mean, keep them on their toes. They don't know what's coming at them. They got to stay on their toes. They don't know what's coming. They don't know who's coming. And we just mixing a lot of things up. And that's always great when you got when you can make the opposing team stay on their toes and not get them in the groove. So that's a great job by Coach Nix.
Is that blitzing a skill that comes naturally for you and the other secondary players, or is that something that kind of had to be developed once that became a pretty common play call?
I think you get a feel for it. You get a feel for the snap count of the cadence of with the opposing quarterback, and then just repping it. And once you get comfortable with doing that week by week, guys will be able to roll and be able to get comfortable with it. And a lot of our guys in the secondary, we all moved around from different positions and different things like that. So everybody is versatile and could do it. So definitely.
Anything in particular about FAU that jumps out this week? What sort of challenges do they present?
It's a great team. They play with a lot of energy. They're gonna fight. They very good on the perimeter. Have some good backs, some good receivers, a good quarterback. And it's a team that we're gonna have to prepare well for. So that's what we look forward to doing.
Hector?
Antonio, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, curious, at practice, when you stare across the field and you see Sincere lining up, what do you see? And what do you see as the play develops?
Sincere is a good back. I mean, it's one cut and he's up the field. So when he's back there, you gotta know you gotta get a spot for him and take great angles because he'll make you miss. He'll make a few guys miss and get out. Sincere is a great running back, and he's one of the better backs that we have in this conference.
Does it take a second to register, Antonio, that you're on the same team as the country's leading rusher?
I mean, we don't really look at stats too much. I think our approach to every day is just getting better and practicing hard. We don't really look at the stat lines and the different accolades that come with names and players on our team. We just go out there and try to get better every day. And I think he'll say the same. We know we have some talent. We know what we got, but we don't really too much look at accolades and who's the leading rusher and different things like that. We just go out there and go hard, and Sincere does that as well.
Appreciate it, Antonio. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
Anything else for Antonio? All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Antonio.
Thank you so much.
All right.